where I'm going to put in time in the gym, and then everything else comes after that? What works for you?
For me, it's just knowing what the goal was.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to be a professional basketball player, and there was nothing that was going to deter me from that. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, my dad, he he wanted to be a professional basketball player. He was, and he had to stop because he had me. So once I really got into basketball and I learned the story, I was like, all right, I'm playing for the both of us. So
Mm-hmm.
um, after that, it was just like nothing. I just knew off rip. I was like, I'm gonna be a professional basketball player, and nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Like if it's something that's gonna mess that up, then I don't need it.
Welcome to Q's Health and Wellness Podcast, your source for living a healthier lifestyle and developing a better mind, body, and soul. Through guidance, tips, and stories of highly successful fitness gurus, athletes, and individuals who are passionate about enhancing all aspects of life, we provide you with the tools to help you take your lifestyle to another level. And now your host, Quinn Mitchell.
Welcome to Q's Health and Wellness Podcast. This is your host, Quentin Mitchell. Today I have a very special guest. Mike is currently a pro basketball player, but he also attended Southern Connecticut State University, where he's an all-time leading scorer there and the Northeast 10 Conference. How are you doing today?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me.
No problem. So for people not familiar with you, would you mind giving a brief introduction about yourself?
Uh, Mike Mallory from Waterbury, Connecticut. 26 years old, and I love to play basketball.
Yes, sir. So when did you first fall in love with the game?
Um, I would say about 5 or 6. I would see my dad playing at the North End Rec. He played every Sunday, like with his friends, and he used to let me go watch. And ever since then, it's just been a love affair.
Yes, I know how it goes.
Yeah,
So for people that are not familiar with it, me and Mike's dad growing up were like literally best friends back in the day. So it's crazy
yeah,
just to
man.
think about it. So what was your biggest obstacle that you would say just being a college athlete or being an athlete in general?
Um, well, being a college athlete, I guess it would be managing your time, because you're new, especially in that type of environment. High school is just kind of like you got school from this time, then you got practice, and then you can do whatever. In college,
Mm-hmm.
your class can be from 8 a.m. or it could be at 8 at night. Trying to manage everything while have practice, making sure you eat right. So I would say time management is the biggest obstacle as an athlete.
Mm-hmm. So let's just talk about your basketball journey because I know growing up you played out here in Connecticut. So how was that
hmm
overall experience for you? Can you just talk through it? So just like say if a young hooper wanted to know like the ropes, let's say, what would you advise him to go through?
Um, yeah, my journey was it's crazy because right now everybody's talking about like top five and NVL and stuff like that. Like that's the league where I played in. So like
Mm-hmm.
I've actually had time to think about it. Um, I've played in parochial school all my life, so uh, I was I was aggressive there and thought I can score. And then at a certain time, I got brought onto the AAU scene around
Mm-hmm.
sixth grade, and it was a family team, like my family, that I actually got introduced to like there, and it just opened me up to kind of just a more up and down, up pace game. And it
Mm-hmm.
kind of broadened my horizons. I started playing outside of Connecticut, against better competition. And from there, I went to Holy Cross High School and just had a great time, had a great coach. Um, and obviously, you have up and downs, but,
Mm-hmm.
things like that, they build you. Um, yeah, I got hurt and then I bounced back from that. And then this I would say if a young hooper was trying to follow my diagraph like of how my stuff went, I would
Mm-hmm.
say get into just play a lot of basketball, but also make sure make sure you're stretching, man. Make sure you're stretching and drinking a lot of water because I was not. Definitely was not.
Yeah. So okay, if you don't mind just jumping in, because I know you had gotten injured. So
hmm
so for me personally, because I know when I was in college, just bouncing back from injury is sometimes a difficult thing to do. So how did you really get over that mentally? Just trying to get back to the killer that you were.
That is the toughest battle. The injury itself, like it happens, and then you start rebuilding. So your body just already starts like working to get stronger and get better to help you. But mentally, it's just you and yourself battling every day. I'm gonna be this or I'm gonna be better than this. And then you have days it's like, I don't know if I'm gonna be this. I don't know what the future holds.
Mhm.
So you really just gotta attack the rehab. I used to go twice a day, um, one in the morning at my PT spot, and then later on in the afternoon I go to the Y. I get in the pool, or I
Mhm.
do some of the exercises that we did earlier that day. But also I had and have a great supporting family and cast around me. So
Mhm.
those dark moments where I would start doubting or questioning myself, because everybody does it. It's a human thing. Um, I wouldn't even say they pick me up. They would just make me forget. They,
Mhm.
we'll play a video game or we'll talk about something totally different, and then by the time I know, it's the next day, and I have to go back to rehab. So I think that was pretty huge for me, just my supporting cast around me.
Got you, got you. Now, jumping back into your pro career, what would you say, or even in college career, what would you say is the biggest sacrifice that you had to make during those times?
Being a pro, the biggest sacrifice is time with your family and loved ones. Like I've missed Christmas, I've missed Thanksgiving. Um, this last season, I was alone for 5 months. There was only one person on my team that spoke English, and that was me.
Well,
Um, so yeah, time is a big sacrifice. Just so
mm-hmm,
you can do what you love, obviously, but also you can, set your family up financially.
mm-hmm,
And then in college, the biggest sacrifice in college, I don't really know, man. I lived I lived 30, 40 minutes away from my family.
mm-hmm,
So they would come see me play. I was home every weekend doing laundry with my mom.
yeah,
Um, my girl went to my school, so
mm-hmm.
I didn't really have a sacrifice. That might be why I played so well. I was just at home.
Yeah. So, but going back to college, right? So when you were in
Hmm.
college, how were you able just to balance out? Like I know we spoke about a little bit, like the time you were like your time management, but because we know in college how it is, you could be caught up in so many different things, but especially being a college hooper and the level that you were at, I know it was a lot of temptation probably. So how were you just able to have tunnel vision and put yourself in a predicament where I'm going to put in time in the gym, and then everything else comes after that? What worked for you?
For me, it's just knowing what the goal was.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to be a professional basketball player, and there was nothing that was going to deter me from that. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, my dad, he wanted to be a professional basketball player. He was, and he had to stop because he had me. So once I really got into basketball and I learned the story, I was like, all right, I'm playing for the both of us. So
Mm-hmm.
um, after that, it was just like nothing. I just knew off rip. I was like, I'm gonna be a professional basketball player, and nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Like if it's something that's gonna mess that up, then I don't need it. And that
Mm-hmm.
was it.
Got you. So,
And I
well, I
love the
know
gym.
that's the next thing I was going to ask you because I know you're a
Yeah.
workaholic. So, can you just talk about the importance of time that you put in when no coaches are watching, when you're by yourself in the gym? Can you talk about how important that is? Because I don't think a lot of hoopers really understand how important that type of time is.
Um, that's that's the most important time, to be honest with you. I don't like people watching me work out. I feel like I feel like that's like my sanctuary. That's like where I can be creative, and I kind of like see the game. Like, all right, I know a lot of people play me this way, so I need to work on going the other way. I like to
Mm-hmm.
put in my hours, because if you can put in your hours on what you're bad at and make them decent to good, and then and then you're also putting hours on what you're really good at, it's just gonna make you a better player. So
Mm-hmm.
for me, it was just a no brainer. Like my sophomore year, we got the gun. So
The
when
gun,
you
the
shoot
shooting
it,
gun.
come back to you already.
Yeah.
That I was like, oh, this is over. I've never had one. That was like one of my like goals, is to get one, and we got a new AD. First thing was
Mm-hmm.
like, I'm gonna get you a gun. Got me
Yeah.
one, and I was in there. I would have class at 8. After class, I would go to Dunkin', get a quick breakfast, then I would go. I worked in the field house. So I would go to the field house, get the ball, put down the hoops, all that, and I'll be in there for like an hour and a half before my next class, like trying to squeeze in as much as I can.
Mhm. So for people that don't know, Mike is probably one of, well, besides me and his size, because I know you played in the CBC circuit with Khalil and them.
Mhm.
So those are always Chris Dunn. Those are always hard workers. And I swear to you, I'll be in the gym 5 a.m. and as soon as I see coming out, I see Mike coming in at 6'7", putting in work. So with the stuff he's telling you is really I've seen from my own eyes. But let's talk about the mindset. Talking about how important the mind is when it comes to the game, because I think a lot of people, when they look at basketball players, they only see like the physical side of what we put in. But I know we talked about briefly a little bit before how important that was. Could you talk about a little bit how important having your mind right, going along with the physical preparation is so important?
The mind game is has to be equal to the physical game, if not more. Where I'm from, if you're not if your mindset's not right, you'll get lost. Um, that's on and off the court. So on the court, you just couldn't be solved. So I know, like I said, when I started playing AU, it's kind of like opened my horizons and brought in my view of stuff. And especially when I started playing at the Y, we used to play at the Y every day in the summer, Monday through Thursday, from 10 to like 3, straight pickup games.
Mm-hmm.
Like I miss that so much, especially now.
Mm-hmm.
But playing so much and seeing like how hard we were going at each other, like we're all friends, like real close guy, like real close friends. And it just built a mindset like if I can kill them, I can kill anybody.
Mm-hmm.
So, but you have to have the mindset of I have to go kill. You know what I mean? If that makes sense, because it's either eat or be eaten. So, in my view, if you couldn't survive in those runs, you weren't going to be able to survive outside those runs.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I developed my mindset is if I can play with them, then I can play with anybody. So, I mean, having a good mental on your head is just going to make the game easier for you.
Now talking about that dog mentality, do you think that's something everybody can develop, or do you think people are born with it? Because I had a lot of people come from different aspects, but I want to hear your
Mhm.
personal opinion on that.
I think that varies person to person. Like, I do think it can be developed depending on the situation.
Mm,
So, if, you know, I would say for me, I had a little bit in me. Like I would get an and one and scream. But I mean, is that really a dog mentality that just you letting out some aggression?
mm,
But the dog mentality is really like, all right, next play go get the same thing. All right, next now you got to stop him on the other end.
mm,
So I think once you get an understanding of what it is, if you can train your mental to get to that, then yeah. But I mean, some people just don't got it, which isn't a bad thing. Like there's people with no dog mentality that are absolute just buckets and or
mm,
really good at their specific role. Um, but I think really the people that are born with the dog mentality are dangerous. Like Kawhi Leonard has a dog mentality, but he's not like rah rah. But look how dangerous he is as a
mm.
basketball player. Um, yeah, that'd be my view on it.
Yeah, it's crazy that you talk about this. You're talking hooper to hooper. It's like you know when you're going to get somebody and they don't got it in them. So that just makes
Hmm.
you just take your shit to another level because
Exactly.
you know they're not gonna match that energy that you're coming with.
Exactly. Chopping at the bit just to go get a bucket at them.
Yeah, you know how it go. So how were you able to really separate what was going on in your personal life to the basketball court? So basically, I know a lot of people. I know some of my teams they had problems with trying to get their mental right where it comes to separating whatever is just the sanctuary of the basketball court versus their
Hmm.
personal life. So how were you able to do it personally? Like what thoughts or what things worked for you that you were able to just divide those two?
Um, it's a great question. I don't even know if they are divided. in my world.
Mm-hmm.
Everything I do is basketball. Like now that I'm a pro, I've actually learned that I need to separate them. So like when I came back home, like I still haven't touched the basketball yet. Like I've
Mm-hmm.
watched a ton of it. I've been training, but I mean obviously I haven't touched the basketball yet.
Yeah.
But when I was younger, it would be I would go play, come back home, eat, 2K. Or we got the hoop outside, I'll go shoot. Like I couldn't separate it because of how bad I wanted it. And then even like in college, like my friends would be like, oh, like, how come you're not coming out tonight? Like we don't see you out that much. And I'd be like, I got practice in the morning, like,
Mm.
or I'm tired from practice. Like my only focus was basketball. But I'm learning now that you do need to separate it just so you can have a clear mental state and
Mm-hmm.
you don't drive your loved ones crazy. So me, I meshed them together, which I don't suggest. I suggest separating it and finding other hobbies and learning to love those as well.
Got you. Now, just a couple more questions before I let you go. I know, growing up, your pops played a big role in your life,
Hmm.
and I know for me as well during my college career or even high school career. So how much of an impact did they make? Because I know me and my pops used to tell me stories about back in the day, how they used to just hoop all day, like literally just go
Hmm.
outside all day from like 10 a.m. to 8 at night, just hooping. So,
Hmm.
and then he would bring that mentality when it came to me because he would often tell me he was like, listen. I could be hard on you. You see, you could go out there and play for fun. Or I'm gonna be hard on you and tell you I'm not gonna tell you what you want to hear. I'm gonna tell you what you need to hear. So he would always be that person that
Mm.
would tell me what everybody else would tell me what I did great. Say if I
Yeah.
had 20, he'll tell me everything I did great, but he'll tell me how could I got 30 or 40 and tell me everything I did bad. So
Hmm.
how did your pops play a great role in developing the person who you are today?
Well, I had double trouble. So my
Mm-hmm.
mother was also a basketball star. I have a basketball lineage family.
Mm-hmm.
So any car I got in after a game was, oh, you had 20 today. That was cute. And that would be it. That would be the end of the conversation until
Yeah.
we at the dinner table and they break it down. But both of them, they just were. They didn't force me into the game, which I
Mm-hmm.
think made me love it more. It was like, I'm gonna play baseball, I'm gonna play football. I did all that, um,
Mm-hmm.
but it was just something that just drew me to basketball. Not even like, oh, I was a little better at it. It just drew me to it because I think they didn't force me into it. I seen how much they loved it and how much they put into it. And once I really dove in, it was like, all right, we'll take it serious with you. So then they would bring me outside. Me and my dad, he'll set up two chairs, put the ball in the chair, come off the curl. So
Mm-hmm.
then he's teaching me stuff like, oh, inside foot. And then my mom would just come out there and she'd be like, 1-on-1, me and you. And I'd be like, all right. And then I get an elbow to the face and she was like, get up. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So they were tough on me, but showing wise, me and my dad could talk basketball 24 hours. Like
Mm-hmm.
yesterday for 20 minutes, we were talking about the Michael Jordan documentary, but
Mm-hmm.
we weren't talking about, oh, the views or like who's the GOAT. It was like, yo, did you see him come off and he dream shake at the free throw
Yeah.
line? And yeah, like we were, I'm so much like him.
Mm-hmm.
So he influenced me a whole bunch, like the way he talks, the way he laughs, the way he walks, everything my dad does. I do whether I know it or not. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and then my toughness would obviously it just come from my mother. That's how she influenced me.
Got you, got you. Yeah, I definitely agree with you, man. And then another question I have for you as well. Your career at Southern it's ironic because when people look at you, I don't think people knew that you were gonna go off the way you did until you actually did it. So I'm not
Hmm.
sure if there was any times where there was any doubt, or I'm not sure how your career went. But I know for me personally, like there have been times when I say I would transfer to a new school and things weren't going my way,
Hmm.
and then it will fuck with my mental. But I'm always putting in the work. But then I'm sitting here thinking like, damn, like it was times where it was like, damn, like do I really still got it? Like you feel what I'm saying? So what
Hmm.
was it? Was there ever a time for you where that would take place? And is there any advice that you would give to people struggling with that during their college career?
Um, the time that happened was early, like freshman year.
Mm-hmm.
Um, So I came off my ACL injury and I went to prep school, and I didn't start playing in prep school until like January. So that leaves me like a month and a half.
Mhm.
I just get the offer after like the season ends. I love the school. So we get there on campus. Me and my roommate was just talking about this story. First pickup, um, they selected everybody but me and my roommate. So we're sitting there, we're like chomping at the bit, but we're kind of like, why? Like, why didn't we get selected? Like,
Mhm.
I wonder what's happening. And I get into me and him, like as we play, we get into a big argument with our captains. Like we play so hard and we're going at, we're just at the end and like, yo, you guys are freshmen, like chill out. And they're like, what does that mean? And my coach brings me up to the office after and was like, I love that. But from that day on, like I think for like a week and a half, I couldn't throw the ball in the basket. Like I think I used up all whatever powers I had that day. And I was like, all right, like what's happening? And to get out of it, um, family motto is we shoot to get hot, we shoot to stay hot. So I just kept shooting. That's it.
Yeah.
Like you can't have a conscience. Like you can, like you definitely. I think you need one, but I think it has to be. You have to keep it quiet until like like all right, I'm bugging out a little bit right now. But
Yeah.
to get out of stuff, I just keep shooting, and if it's like really bothering me off the court, I try to get away. Video
Mhm.
game, a book, um, because sometimes you need to take yourself away from the situation to make sure you take a deep breath, breathe, and see everything through, so that the next time you go in, you can see what you're doing wrong or what's really affecting it.
Mhm.
So that would be my advice: is to take a step away, take a deep breath, um, let the bad slump or the bad moment, the doubt ride out, because everything has a beginning and end. So once that
Mhm.
ends, that's when your rise comes back up.
It's crazy because I can relate to that, bro. It's like even during when I was in college, I was in a slump. But my thing is that I didn't know what passing was. So me, I was just but the craziest thing, Mike, like to be a killer, I've learned like once I hit that pinnacle and I started going
Mhm.
off. It was like for me to get there, like you can't have a conscience. If you're really a
No,
dog, you really can't have a conscience because the minute you have a conscience, the minute you're gonna start second thinking yourself, and the minute every
exactly,
decision you make is gonna be a second guess. So to me, I just went out there, I
exactly.
just started shooting everything.
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, and all my friends know, I don't have a problem with that.
Mm.
I've had a game with 40 shots and then got on the bus like nothing happened.
Yeah. No,
Yeah, so
but I mean to develop that killer mindset though, because you think about it, it's like for people that's not killers, they're gonna look at that and they say, oh, you took 40 shots, but it's like
mhm.
to me, if I'm shooting, if I take 40, I'm at least gonna hit 30. Like, that's how I'm thinking.
Yeah,
That's how I'm thinking.
yeah, we had to
But
win that game. We had to win that game.
yeah, so but the last question I want to ask you is: there any advice that you would give to a kid that their high school coach or their college coach would not tell them?
Um, that they wouldn't tell them. See, that's tough because how good is that coach if he's not going to tell them?
Mm-hmm. But
Um,
but you know how basketball is a business, so it's like
yeah,
some
yeah, yeah.
I've had coaches that would keep information from holding me, like they will hold stuff from me, and I will find out later later in life. So it's like, yo, you could have just told me this from the jump, and I
Hmm.
would have understood it. But have you had a
Um,
situation like that, or
I think I've been blessed that, especially
mm,
my high school coach. My high school coach, I view like as my like third grandfather. Like we're close to this day. Like he helped my cousin find his house. He's helping me find my house. He's also a real
mm,
estate agent. So he would let me know bluntly like everything.
mm,
But I guess my advice to a kid is just fall in love with the game.
mm,
Um, because if you're trying to reach a goal, if you're trying to be in the NBA or a pro overseas or a college athlete, and you just want a scholarship, if you're just doing it just to do it, you're not going to be happy, and that's going to affect your life on and off the court.
mm.
But if you can fall in love with the game in the process, um, it just makes things easier. It's not work. So I guess that would be my advice. I mean, like you said, it is a business, and as you get older, you'll learn how much of a business it is. So I guess you gotta kind of get some tough skin as well. That's another advice. Get some tough skin, because I was told during AAU, I don't think you can play with a shot clock. That's why I'm not gonna play this tournament. I was like, what? Why would you fly me out here to tell me I'm not gonna play this tournament?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, just in case we needed a backup because somebody got hurt. So I think having tough skin and making sure you turn that negative into a positive will really, really help you in the long run.
Well, I greatly appreciate you coming on the show, because, like I said, a lot of people, they look for advice like this, but I'll put it like this, Mike. If you're not in the basketball community, you're not going to get free game like this. Like, people just not going to be open to tell you nothing. Like, you see, you're going to go out there, you're going to drown yourself, or you're going to find somebody you're going to learn from.
You're going to float. Yeah.
Well, I greatly appreciate you taking time out your day to talk to me. And so for people that have any questions or concerns, if they want to get in contact with you, would you mind giving me contact information, like your Instagram or email?
Yeah, my Instagram is MizzyMal3. My Twitter is MizzyMal3, and my Facebook is Michael Hangtime Mallory. So I mostly hit up. I answer mostly all my DMs in there. So I'll add you, and I can definitely help out.
All right, bro. I now definitely include that in the description as well. But I greatly appreciate you coming on the show, my man, and talking to me.
No problem, bro.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for joining us on this episode of Q's Health and Wellness Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe or to leave us a review on iTunes or the listening platform of your choice. Also, please check us out at QuinnMitchellII.com, as well as find us on Instagram for more useful content and resources.